Good morning. Welcome back or welcome to Yoga with Ciara. It's day 16 of center. And so today we're going to be spiraling and twisting from the center. It's yum. I was doing it already this morning. It's really nice. So come lie on your back to begin with, and then we will travel up and then travel back down again. So come. So lying on your back, your knees are bent. And just closing your eyes and find your three centers. So there's the deep center somewhere in your head, somewhere, for me, it's somewhere behind my eyebrows and nose and mouth, something there. It's not to the right or to the left, it's in the middle of my center in my head. And then finding the center in your chest. Again, for me, it's centered behind my sternum. And then finding the center in the belly pelvis. Where do you connect to center there? A sense of midline, mid-center, center line, centers that travel like a pearl necklace. Nice. So begin to roll up and down along your spine. So really slowly, always in the beginning, travel slowly with movements. So travel up and down and notice where you rest. Which center do you rest in as you do this? What center is the origination of the movement, the origin of the movement? Oh, what centers are moved? And where do you rest your attention as you roll up and down along your spine? Are you even left and right as you roll? Really meeting it's like the big chunks either side of your spine. There's these big muscles called the erector spinae. And so as I travel up, it's like I'm rolling along these beautiful muscles of my back, massaging them along the floor and really feeling the density of them. Next time that you rise, pause there. So you're not super high. You're finding your own zone of ease and comfort. And then just pause there. Notice now the center of your pelvis, belly, where it is, how it is. How do you connect to it? What are the sensations that you associate with center? When you feel into your heart center, what are the sensations you associate with there? When you feel your head center, where and how does it feel? Nice, and lower all the way down, land on the floor. So walk your feet so they're together and bring your arms wide. And then cross your right thigh over the top of the left. And then rock your knees from side to side. Wow, I look really dark when I look at the screen. Well, that's interesting. I'm going to have to look at my light contrast next time I go to my camera. So anyways, so your right thigh is over the top of the left and my right foot is dangling down near the left ankle. I'm just going to rock my pelvis from side to side. And so there's a sensation difference because there's a shape difference. So for me, there's more intensity when I travel to the left, and there's less intensity when I travel to the right. But that's for me. That's the shape and the holding in my pelvis and my hips that I'm noticing. As you rock your center from side to side, how does your center of your belly pelvis change? And there's this really subtle difference of when I drop down to the right, I fall towards my feet a bit more. And when I drop down towards the left, I rise a little bit towards my shoulder with the twist. Because there's a shape difference. One leg is on top of the other. Change. So both thighs are together, both feet are together. And then cross your left thigh over the top of the right. Arms are wide, elbows are steady, and begin to rock here. So again, I'm noticing that same pattern that when I drop to the left, I drop towards my feet more with my knees. And when I drop to the right, I have a very subtle up feeling with my knees. There's also a very different sensation between one side and the other for me, as in when I travel left and when I travel right. And then also between the other side of my body and this side doing the same movement. Yeah, I'm eating a huge amount more when I'm doing it this side, interestingly enough. I'm like, that's so interesting. So I'm traveling with care, with attention, acknowledging that I don't have to be in any way other than I am, except for I need to know how I am to keep myself well. So I'm really acknowledging my sensations, traveling slowly, and including sensations into the movement that I create. Nice. Come back to center. So now take your right foot and place your ankle on top of the left knee. And then try and draw your right knee as far away from you as you can. And then let your right knee wave towards you. So another way of saying that is let your right inner thigh squeeze and draw your thigh towards your belly, but your foot stays on your knee. So your knee moves away and then your thigh moves towards you. So I'm waving my knee away and then towards. Away and then towards. Away and then towards. Nice. And then draw a huge circle with your knee. Take your foot off your knee. And how big of a circle can you make? And does your left hip lift off the floor? And I'm going to ask, don't let your left hip lift off the floor. So I have to pay much more attention to the movement. Whereas if I just swing around willy-nilly, my left hip lifts and I can do a huge range, but it's different. I want that the movement is coming from the right leg rather than the rocking of my pelvis. And then roll your knee in the other direction. How big can you make this movement? Keeping your left hip on the floor. I've even brought my fingers to the front of the left hip, to the front of the left pelvis, and that slight contact and proprioception awareness that my hand is creating there on the front of my hip is giving me a sense of my leg and hip on the left not traveling. Nice. So come back to center. Your knee is over your hip. And now drop your right knee as far to the right as you can without letting your left hip and thigh or anything move. Come back to center. Right knee towards the right. Don't let anything move except for your right leg. And you're meeting the deep of the inner thigh on the right as you do this. And come back. My hand on the front of my left hip is really wonderful. So as far as sensations and proprioception goes, proprioception is your body's ability to know where it is in space. So my hands, I know minutely where my hands are in space. I know where my lips are, where my nose is. But do I know exactly where my thigh is in space? It has a different proprioception awareness. So, or where my hip is. So I'm sharing the very subtle connection that I have to my hand, and I'm sharing it with my left hip as I do this. Pause with your right knee out towards the right. Left hip is anchoring deeply, and you can, if you want, stretch the left leg long so that you're balancing, stabilizing, strengthening as well. So my lower back is anchoring, my left hip is deeply on the floor, my right knee is out to the side, and maybe my left leg is long. Now let your left leg travel. So draw the left knee up towards you, and then left leg travels long. Left knee up towards you. All the time my right leg is out to the side. What changes in my right leg as my left leg comes towards me? And then away. One more time. Left leg towards me. And away. Nice. Both feet to the floor. Pause. Let that settle. Cool. So, other side. Bring your left foot up. Place your foot on top of the right knee. And then wave your left knee towards you and then away from you. So really meeting your hip. And I'm there's a strength to the pulling away of my knee and to the squeezing in of my knee. So I feel strong. It isn't just about mobility, there's a strengthening in the end of the movements. There's connection, there's range, of course. Nice. Now take your foot off your knee and draw the biggest circle that you can with that left leg. I've brought my right hand to the front of my right hip, and I'm keeping my right hip really anchored on the floor as I draw a big circle with the left knee. How do I feel the outer edge of my range? I feel a little bit like years ago, there was a movie called Eat the Peach in Ireland, and there was this man on the bog of Allen, and he built a wall of death for his motorbike, and he believed that he could, if he had enough momentum, that he could, through what's centrifugal force, change the direction of your knee. Through centrifugal force, he could travel around the walls of the wall of death on his bicycle, on his motorbike, not his bicycle, on his motorbike. So you're rolling deeply. So imagine that your knee is the motorbike from Eat the Peach, and you're drawing a huge circle, and you're feeling that in your hip, perhaps. Random story from Ciara today. So now draw your left knee out to the side, and then bring it back up to center. Left knee to the side, and back up to center. I was looking at the trailer of Eat the Peach recently. Amazing movie. The side, come back up to center. Side, pause there with your left knee out to the side, right hip is on the floor, and you really feel it. Like I feel this density through the back of my body. I feel like I am connected, backwards, deeply present. Stay here or lengthen your right leg long. So always, if you add something, an intensity, a strengthening, and you go, oh, that's a bit too much, then just bend your knee or bring your foot to the floor. So each side is allowed to be different. Yeah, for me, I'm not as strong on this side as I was on the other. I feel that in the trembling of my body. Nice. Bend your knee, draw your knee up towards you on the right, and then let your right leg travel out. So, how does your right knee travel? How does your body coordinate the fact that you're lengthening into the inner thigh on the left, sorry, and your right leg is traveling? One more time. Super. Cool. Both feet to the floor. Pause. Feel it. Notice your centers, head, heart, belly. How are they? Where are they? Nice. So roll all the way over and come up into your hands and knees. So take your right knee and move it out to the side on the right. So straight out towards the right. Okay? And then take your right knee and bring it behind the left knee and like squeeze back, like you're bringing your forehead down to your left elbow. And I've really squeezed the left side deeply. My head is traveling. My whole body is squeezing the left side. Pause there. Nice. Touch your knee beside the left one, and then bring your knee straight up to the side again. And now swing your foot forward. So this was Kung Fu Bunny or something. So bring your knee out to the side. As you begin to straighten your leg, bring your foot forward to the outside of your right hand. Nice. And bring your foot back to not wide. And then down behind you, squeeze the left side deeply. Touch the floor beside your left knee. Bring your knee up as high as it'll go. Really, really high. Let your whole pelvis travel. And then straightening your leg, but also travel your foot forward. Bring your foot to the outside of the right knee. right foot, right hand. Squeeze and push forward. And again, knee wide. Bring your knee behind you. Travel so that you're squeezing deeply into the left side. And then knee travels out. And fling your foot forward. Bend your front knee forward. Super. Other side. So from here, bring the left knee out to the side as high as you can. Let your whole pelvis travel. And then bring your left knee behind you so that you're squeezing down, drawing your head down towards the right. And I feel folds on the right. I feel like my shoulder and hip are squeezing together. Nice. Touch the floor beside your right knee. Lift your knee up to the side and then straighten, swing, fling your leg forward. Bring it to the floor beside your left hand. Bend your knee. Bring your knee wide. Bring it back behind you. Squeeze on the right side. Knee to the side. And then Kung Fu Bunny your foot forward. Bend your front knee. Nice. Last one. Swing your knee back all the way around the corner. Bring your knee wide and then swing your foot forward. Super cool. Both knees together. Tuck your toes under. Rise up by straightening your legs. Bring your elbows to your knees. And just pause there. So after you've settled a few moments into your elbows on your knees, you can come into a deeper forward fold, or you can keep your elbows on your knees. See what your spine is saying. See what your lower back, buttocks, backs of your thighs, the deep of your rib cage. And then wherever you are, connect to your centers. What speaks to you of the center of your head? I can feel the blood in the center of my head. Gravity is doing its job. My eyes feel more full. My sinuses feel more full. My lips. Where's the center of your chest, your heart? And then where's the center of your belly? Super. Elbows to your knees. Hands to your knees. And come all the way up to stand. Cool. So the way I was working out how to describe what we're going to do now is a bit like a curtsy, back in the time of Victoria or Elizabeth or whoever. So you would have brought your right foot behind you and your right knee would have tucked in behind the left knee. You bend your knees a little bit. And I'm automatically pulling the left shoulder back a bit, okay? And then come back to straight. So bring your right foot behind you, same leg again, and then pull your left elbow back into lawnmower. And then back. Okay? So right foot behind you around the corner. Pull your left elbow back. And now look down at your right foot, the back foot. And come back. Nice. One more time. Bring your foot behind you around the corner. Tuck your right knee into the back of the left knee. Sit your bum down as well as whatever distance feels like wellness. Pull your left elbow back. And then reach your right hand forward and then wrap your right hand around until you hold your shoulder. Lift your chest, spiral. So we're also going to lift our hand here. So bring your right fingers to the front of your right shoulder and now extend your right arm up towards the ceiling and spiral a little bit deeper so that the armpit on the right is traveling towards the left side. And I'm even trying to look a little bit more behind me. Nice. Come all the way back. Pause. Feel the ice cream cone of you traveling towards the left as you stand there. So interesting. So great. Other side. So we're going to practice run a few times. Bring your left foot behind you around the corner. And bend your knee. Look down towards that left foot and then come back. As you step your left foot behind you, pull your right elbow back into lawnmower. And then back. Right elbow back, lawnmower. Look back at that left foot. And then we're going to do it now. So step your left foot back, tuck your knee in the direction of the back of the right knee. Pull your right elbow back and reach your left hand forward. And then spiral that left hand all the way around until it holds or places down on the front of the right chest, right shoulder. Feel the deep spiral. So your left elbow is traveling more and more to the right. Your right elbow is traveling more and more behind you. You have the sense of sitting deeply down and feeling the spiral through your spine. Stay here, or bring your fingers to the front of your shoulder, thumb to your shoulder, and then extend your left hand up towards the ceiling. Draw your armpit towards the right. Super duper. Come all the way back. Wow. So come sit on the floor, and we're going to do something really similar, but on the floor. Okay, so this one, quite a lot of bending of knees. So if you don't want to bend your knees, if you don't want to include the knee bending thing, you can do it from straight legs, or you can do it from one knee bent. Okay, so one option is both legs straight. The next option is that you bend your right foot over the top of your left leg. Perfect. The next option is that you lean towards the left and you sweep your right foot around the corner. So your right knee is bent, you're resting. Your right knee is bent and it's over towards the left. Your left thigh is bent and scooped underneath you so that your foot is over towards the right. But see how that feels. Both legs straight is amazing. Bring both arms forward in front of you. Pull your right elbow back and then wrap your left hand around until it comes to the front of your shoulder and bring your right hand to the floor behind you. Find the length, the spiral of you. Left elbow travels more and more towards the right. Right shoulder is pulling back. Breathe into your belly. Find your centers. Belly, heart, head. So for me, my head feels really relaxed. There's no spiraling in my neck, really. I'm centered over my chest, but my chest and my belly are really spiraling as I do this. Super. Last movement. Both legs forward, unwrap your legs. Feel the ice cream cone of you tending to travel towards the right still. So take your left foot, step it over the top of the right. Lean towards the right and bend your left knee. Yes, that's okay. If you want, you can lift your bum up higher for this one. Sometimes my knee doesn't like this, and if it doesn't, I always just stretch my leg out. I never force my knees. So bring both arms forward, pull your left elbow back, wrap your right arm around to the front of the left shoulder, bring your left fingers to the floor, spiral. So remember, don't hurt your knees. It's not worth it. Really not worth it. Spiral, deepen. Right elbow's traveling towards the left in front of you. How are your centers? How do you rise? Nice. Release. Unpack your legs. Just roll into your ankles for a moment. Move your legs a little bit. Shake your legs like you're going for a run. Run, Forrest, run. More. Keep going, keep going. There's a certain point where one of my legs starts to go funny. And come lie on the floor, all the way down, land on the floor. And just either draw your knees up or bring your feet to the floor, rock them from side to side. Lengthen your legs out long. How do you come to rest? and just check in. How do your centers feel? Very dark. It's all very dark. Much better. Yeah. So I'll see you all tomorrow. Day 17 of center. Very nice. Oh, some of you, I'm starting back to in person tonight, and I'm going to see some of you tonight. So exciting. It's been 4 years since I've done only in person, since before. So I'll see some of you tonight. I'll see some of you tomorrow, and then I look forward to seeing all of you at some stage. So great. Ciao, ciao. Bye.